Live from Green Bay Distillery, in the shadow of Lambeau Field, you're going inside the huddle with Blake Martinez.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Inside the Huddle. I'm Josh Moser, and we need a big round of applause for our host tonight, Mr. Blake Martinez. How you doing? We haven't seen you in a while on this show. Everything good?
I know. It feels good to be back.
Feels good to be back.
But yeah, everything's going well.
Good. We got to talk about this win right here. 9 wins, first place in the NFC North. What do you think, everybody? Come on.
Yeah, I'll take that.
This is a different place than this team's been in the last couple of years. How different is it, and what does it feel like?
No, it's extremely different. I think we talk about it throughout the season as it went on. When it went, hey, I've never had 6 wins, 1 loss, or 7 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins at this time. So it's just been special, and we're just trying to keep it rolling and keep this special season going until February. Inside the locker room, do you guys feel that this is special because of those 9 wins? I know the fans are saying, hey, 9 wins, we've got a chance. We're first place in the division. But is there a feeling actually inside there? No, 100%. I think the wins come from that, and I think the locker room feeling is way more important than the wins have been, just in the aspect of every single guy, no matter what position group, offense, defense, or special teams, are all working to get better, all trying their hardest to not to let the next guy down, and it's just been special. Playing
for one another, but of course it all starts with Matt LaFleur. He's got 9 wins. That is the most for a rookie head coach all time with the Packers, tying Sherman as well as Holmgren. So what about him does he bring that's different maybe than Mike McCarthy brought, because he played for both of them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, both coaches were awesome. I think for him, he's just a young coach, understands the type of players, able to adapt. And every single day he's been asking for advice, how to change things, whether it's schedule, practice, meetings, whatever it ended up being, just to make us more comfortable. And it's just been awesome in that sense.
Crazy to think. It was actually a year ago today, Mike McCarthy. This was ending his tenure. Crazy come full circle to see where you guys have now gone in the last 12 months. Not take anything away from Mike McCarthy, but it feels like it's just so different. What are some of maybe the major differences between them? Just styles.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach McCarthy was just, I mean, it was awesome in the sense in certain moments. Obviously, his time ended, but he was more old school type coach.
Sure.
Where Matt LaFleur brings this new edge, new type of style, especially obviously on the offensive ends that's been changing the NFL over the past couple of years. So it's just been cool to see, and I think that's probably the major difference between the two.
Let's talk about this game here because it is a win. Most importantly, Aaron Rodgers was phenomenal, but we start with our play of the game, and it was on 4th and 10. You're watching on the sidelines, and he's going to find Geronimo Allison. This is the underwarmer hot play of the game. That's the underwarmer heading outdoors or to the game. Better get an underwarmer. So what's it like when you see stuff like this and you got a head coach that's going for it on 4th and 10?
No, it's awesome, and I think it just shows the type of team that we are. We know when our moment is to strike and to finish games, and that was one of those moments. And obviously when you have a player like 12 that can do those types of things, it's just easy to make that decision.
For everyone at home, they see him on Sundays, but they don't get a chance to see him at practice. Is he doing stuff like this all the time, and you guys are just like, oh, we see this every week?
Oh, yeah, 100%. He's always taking chances in practice because he knows it's practice, but it makes it that much easier to do it in the games. And he's a special player, and I've always said this, going against him every day makes it easy to go against other teams. So, yeah, practice, he's doing it all the time.
Real quick on Aaron, 36th birthday today. Did you see him? Did you guys give him a hard time?
Oh, yeah. We had a team meeting where they put his picture up in front of everybody saying happy birthday.
Nice.
I don't know if he liked it or not, but it was pretty funny.
You enjoyed it? Who's the best singer on the team? Or maybe worse. That might be easier.
Yeah, probably Dean Lowry.
Dean Lowry. All right. We got Dean right there, but we want to go back to this play on 4th and 10 because that's all everybody is talking about here. We now want to hear from Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur on that big 4th and 10 conversion.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the play of the game. We needed a drive there, and I love the aggressiveness from Matt. And I kind of held it inside. Gmo put his hand up, and was fortunate to get it in a good spot there.
That was a huge play in the game. It was a critical play because we were able to get points out of it, and there were a lot of great plays in this game that aren't necessarily the way you draw plays up, but our guys were able to step up, deliver, and make the plays.
Rodgers looking pretty New York there. Kind of looks like he stole a outfit there from Randall Cobb. But what goes into these outfits that you guys wear on the flight? Can you wear whatever you want? Is there a dress code? How does that work?
It depends on the situation, but most of the time it's comfortable going there and going back. But for game days when we drive like on the bus and stuff, you have to have somewhat of a dress-up attire. I don't know too much about that stuff. I just wear whatever the minimal requirement is.
Sure.
And I'm good to go.
I mean, you're in shorts right now, middle of December.
Yeah.
It's great, a little Brett Favreism. We like that. All right, well, we want to go to our Hupin Abraham good drive of the game. They always remind you not to text and drive. We saw the 4th and 10 conversion, but it is capped off with a touchdown to Devontae Adams. He had 2 of them in this game. Come on, everybody. 2 touchdowns from Devontae Adams. I think they just cheered out from Sunday. You know, they used all their voices from there.
Too many touchdowns.
So we saw Devontae go down earlier in the season, was dealing with that turf toe. Now he's back and healthy in the last quarter of the season. What's it like going up against him in practice every day?
No, he's once again another special player that we have on our team. Makes guys better every single day, whether it's Jair, Kevin King, Tremont Williams, those types of things that every single person, it's iron sharpening iron. So for having him back and completely healthy, it's just going to help us that much more.
Yeah, very excited to see what happens here in the coming weeks. Again, Washington in town this weekend. We're just getting started here on Inside the Huddle. Quick commercial break. We're right back to the Green Bay Distillery after this. Stay with us.
Like literally, I went like this and just shoved him from the side, and he fell on the ground. And they told me I hit him in the back. And I was like, whatever, next play.
Now we get some cheers. This is what we needed. So take us through this play. Do you still feel the same way after going back and looking at this? We're going to show everybody the play at home just so we can kind of relive what happens. So you take us through it.
Yeah, so basically it's just the type of coverage we were in. All of a sudden there's an NFL rule in the rule book where if the quarterback goes outside the pocket, you're allowed to hit any receiver on the ground. And so instead of covering him, I decided to hit him on the ground. And then all of a sudden they threw a flag. So, yeah.
That was it.
Yep.
No explanation, just on to the next play.
Yeah.
So as a player, I know you're trained to play, let it go. But how hard is that when you're just like, hey, this is in the rule book. You got to let it go. You got to go play the next down.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. In the rule book, technically I shouldn't have gotten flagged, but they said I hit him in the back. So that was the thing they tried to say. But, yeah, it was all bad. Anyway, yeah, I basically went on to the next play and just took it for what it was, and I think we ended up stopping him, so we were fine.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some good, because this defense had 3 interceptions. You now have done it twice on the season, did it in Dallas, and, of course, Kevin King coming up with the first one yesterday, Tremont Williams getting one, Darnell Savage getting one. So what are the keys to the guys on the back end picking off the quarterback?
Yeah, I think this was one of the games where our communication across the board was phenomenal. So it allowed everybody to be in the right spot and be able to get their eyes back to the quarterback and obviously make some awesome plays and disguise extremely well to cause the quarterback to throw in that type of coverage.
So when you guys are breaking down film earlier in the week, you guys are developing a game plan, you've got rookie quarterback, is there a strategy where you can put yourself in those types of situations to make those plays, or does it just come within the game?
No, yeah, definitely there's a strategy to it. We understood the type of quarterback Daniel Jones was, obviously a rookie quarterback, and he would take chances off of his initial read in the given coverages we were showing. So we knew if we can disguise somewhat, we can cause him to just blatantly throw the ball, and it got us a couple interceptions. 3
picks, now plus 11 in the turnover differential on the season. That is one of the most important stats in football when you talk about winning percentage. Let's go around the league now. Everyone also talking about this play. I don't know if you caught this in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy formation. How do you defend something like this? What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, so it's just basically every single guy has, if there's, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's going to take a while, but every single person, depending on how many guys are in a certain spot, you at least have the same amount of guys in those locations.
Right.
And then you divvy up who has who. and I'm guessing one guy let the kicker go
through.
And they got a touchdown.
So as a defender, I know you're playing for pride. How mad would you be if a punter and the holder throws a pass to the kicker for a touchdown? What do you think the defensive coach would say on the sidelines?
Yeah, you'd be pretty mad at yourself, especially if you're the guy that let the kicker score the touchdown. I feel real bad for that guy.
Dolphins win in an upset in that game. We want to continue to go around the league. I don't know if you caught this one. It was Sunday Night Football game, Patriots, Texans, another kind of crazy trick play situation where you have a couple different handoffs in the backfield, then you're going to get a lateral near the sideline, and the quarterback's actually going to end up with it, dives for the pylon. Same types of situations. Are you maybe even seeing Matt LaFleur look at something like this and maybe install it this week?
I don't know if we're gonna put Aaron in that position.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But no, yeah, it was an awesome play. I was wondering if they counted those handoffs as forward passes. So I didn't know if it was like legal or not, but it was an awesome play and an awesome execution.
Well, according to fantasy, because everyone likes fantasy, they actually gave DeAndre Hopkins a touchdown pass to quarterback. So there you have it for everybody at home. Congratulations if you won your fantasy league. But we're talking about real football. We're going to continue that after this quick commercial break. Don't touch that remote. We're right back to the Green Bay Distillery after this with Blake Martinez on Inside the Huddle.
He is a stud. I love him. That's one guy that I really want his jersey in my house. So Blake, if you're listening, I want my jersey. I want my jersey, and don't tell me no, because I'll come get it.
All right, so Donald Driver on the show last week. Welcome back to the show, everybody. And he's a big fan of yours, and he wants an autographed jersey. Do you think there's any way that we can make this happen?
I got to talk to my people, but I think I might be able to get it. Yeah, I can definitely get that.
So of all of the former Packers that you've had a chance to meet, I know you've been going through the community tours, going on Legends Cruise. Is there an older Packers player that's now retired that, kind of you really resonate with, that you've really developed a personal connection with?
Yeah, that's a tough one because I've been on the tailgate tour and the Packers Cruise. I'd probably say George Kuntz. He's definitely been a guy that's helped me out a lot, whether it's in the locker room talking or whenever I do his show. It's just been really cool to kind of bounce ideas off him.
Sure. You always like to have somebody that's been through it there before, that's been there, that you can give you some good advice. But a lot of people giving advice are really warm to Mason Crosby right now, dealing with a tough personal situation. He's also a host here on the show. For those of you that don't know, Mason's brother's wife just passed away from cancer. His wife, Molly, was dealing with cancer earlier this year through training camp. She's now doing very well, but he's been dealing with a lot of stuff off of the field. Was given the game ball yesterday, kicked a field goal, 14 of 15. He's been playing really, really well. So what is he like in the locker room? I know you guys are kind of rallying around him. He went home and is with his family right now, but as a player, when you've got to be on to play every Sunday, and it's very limited, but you've got a life too. I think a lot of fans forget about that. Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I think a lot of people just kind of look at us as football players, but don't see all the stuff behind that. And I think Mason's, obviously it's a tragedy, but he's the ultimate professional. He's a guy that everyone looks up to in the locker room. All of us were cheering him on after the game when we gave him the game ball. And I know he's having an extremely tough time, but that's what's just been special about this group, not even just the culture around football, but the type of people that we are and the type of teammates that we are to each other. Everyone's been there for him, and it's just been awesome to see. Yeah, it's definitely different inside the locker room, at least for me being in there for the last 5 years. You can feel something different, and it's with Matt LaFleur as the head coach as well, one of the big changes this offseason. He spoke today about the situation that Mason's dealing with.
Shows, I think, how important this football team is to him. And just, nobody knows what somebody's going through in that type of situation. Obviously, we all feel for him, but for him to come through for this football team means a lot to everybody in that locker room. He made a big time kick in that game, and he's played at a high level all year long, at a Pro Bowl level. So just happy that he's a part of what we're doing here. I like Lucas Patrick there with a little golf swing. Mason's a great golfer, but just another little idiom where you see there's something special in this locker room that we haven't seen in the last few years. How much of a difference is there? Do you feel it on a day-to-day basis? Oh, yeah, 100%. I think
just the sense of urgency every guy has, and just how important it is to everybody. And I think that's something that's been lacking since I've gotten there, and I think it's just been ramped up like 1,000% this year, and it's just awesome to be around.
The Packers playing for one another. First place right now, 9-3 as we enter into December football for another hopeful push to the playoffs. We've got more with Blake Martinez coming up right after this. That is the chicken bruschetta pizza found here at the Green Bay Distillery. We need one more big round of applause for our host tonight, Blake Martinez. This is your show. We got to pump you up. How about 118 tackles through the first 13 weeks? That is tops in the NFL, everybody. Yeah. Always seem to find yourself to be in at the right place at the right time. We want to get everybody involved now at home. It is time for our audience questions. And our first question is from Ireland from New Fraken. Ireland, what's your question for Blake?
Did you play any other sports in high school?
Yes, I did. I played volleyball, basketball, track, and that's it.
That's a lot of varsity letters.
Yeah, it was a doozy. I feel like I was never home.
Next question from Chase, also from New Franken. Chase, what's your question?
Hi, Blake. What's your favorite food?
I'd say healthy food. Probably like chicken and some vegetables. Unhealthy food, anything breakfast, like French toast, pancakes, all that.
All the pastries.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, one more question. We got Dennis from Maribel. What's your question, Dennis?
Hi. Say, what time do you eat Sunday morning before a noon game?
So we typically have a pregame meal about like 4 hours before. So anytime then or before, just to make sure kind of digest and don't have to, I guess, go to the bathroom during the game.
So for a noon kickoff, you're at the stadium before 8 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you guys are there that early. We're going to have to go through the process, find out what it takes to go pregame. Coming up right after the break, we're going to take a quick commercial timeout. We've got more with Blake right here at the Green Bay Distillery on Inside the Huddle. Again, Packers in first place in the NFC North. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Josh Moser. He is Blake Martinez and is Washington on deck this next week. Dwayne Haskins, another rookie quarterback, back-to-back weeks. What is the key to stopping this Washington offense? Yeah,
they're explosive group, even though the record doesn't seem that way. Great running game, great running backs, obviously Adrian Peterson. Great offensive line, good seal players. So I think it's going to be the same type of detailed plan that we had for the Giants. Just show different looks, try to get him off his first initial target, and make him make those rookie mistakes.
There we go. Take him all the way through the progressions. More importantly, you're playing at home. Going to defend Lambeau right now. First place in the NFC North here, entering into Week 14. That is it, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. He's Blake Martinez, the NFL tackling leader right now. So we get a standing ovation to end this thing. We'll see you right back here next week.